Verizon guy, can you hear me now? And now, and now, yes. All right, let's assume everybody can hear me. I hope you don't mind me using my notes. It's been a long day and my memory is not what it used to be. I actually thought of writing up my routine on my arm, like teenagers trying to cheat on a test. But I don't think I can pull off this, sleeve tattoo look. Probably not me. Also, I can't read my own handwriting. My name is Yulia. I do know quite a few people here because as a starting comedian doing open mic nights, I practice BYOA, bring your own audience. I hope everybody had something to drink. There is some wine there. Comedians sound a lot funnier when the audience is drunk. So I started doing this very, very recently, and it is all my husband's fault. He wanted me to get a new hobby, something inexpensive that will keep me occupied and entertained when he wants to have some time for himself. And I always kind of like to make fun of him, and this gives me a chance to do it with impunity. So I selected comedy. Turns out he meant cooking. Oh well, he should have been more specific. So, my husband likes to give a lot of unsolicited advice, directions, criticism, so much that I think of him as my personal drill sergeant. And he thinks of me as his emotional support animal. Soft and loving, but will bite if annoyed enough. My husband does not like winters, so he spends his winters in Mexico. And last winter, I decided to visit him because I thought, oh, he's so lonely and heartbroken there without me. I come there and we go to this weekly trivia game. Turns out not only does my husband Arkady have his regular trivia team, the team's official name is Arkady's Harem. So I think he might not be as lonely as he told me. He was with me in the hospital when I was giving birth to our daughter. He did not seem to be entertained enough by whatever was going on. I distinctly remember him grumbling about not having access to HBO on the hospital TV. That night, he went out with friends, came back next morning, hangover, loudly complaining about headache, and being very surprised that I was not more sympathetic. When our daughter was little, I worried that it took him a long time to bond with her. So I kept worrying that they have nothing in common except looks, personalities, and habit, but no common interest. But I kept calming myself down, saying, well, they're bound to find something to bond over, right? One day it's gonna happen. And you know what? I was right. It finally happened. They totally bonded over beer tasting. I think I'm a cool mom. Anytime I say it, she starts laughing. So at the minimum, I'm entertaining. Now I try to spend time together with her, find things we can do together. We even got matching tattoos. I like asking about her friends, trying to meet her friends, talking to them. So naturally, she thinks I'm totally lame. And her friends are terrified and intimidated by me. It's all my charming Eastern European personality. I think I'm having a nice, friendly chat, and people I'm talking to feel like they're being interrogated by the KGB. Our daughter is quite miniature, but fierce. Kind of like a Yorkie that thinks she's a German Shepherd. And she always likes to establish her street cred with new people. When she was about 12 years old, she went to New York City for a sleepover with a friend. So imagine, she's standing there at Port Authority with a backpack, a hairbrush and toothbrush sticking out of it, looking a little out of place and unsure, all alone in the middle of Port Authority. So a policewoman comes over and takes her to Port Authority police room, just, to call her parents, make sure she's not a runaway, that we know where she is and where she's going. There are policemen in uniforms there are some handcuffs on a chair. It made an impression. For years afterwards, anytime Michelle met a new person, she would unobtrusively add in the conversation, that time I got arrested. So, during COVID, office workers successfully demonstrated that we can do our jobs just as effectively and efficiently sitting home in our pajamas. So naturally, now our managers want us back in the office. It's kind of like they're paying for the office, so you better use it and like it. Of course, they say that it's for team building and camaraderie, because nothing builds camaraderie like the knowledge that a person next to you also spends 3 hours a day commuting to sit alone in his office on a 7-hour Zoom call. On a bus in the morning, I always see these ladies with perfect makeup, with these stylish and nice and color coordinating clothes. And I always think, how do they do it? Color coordination at 6 a.m.? I don't even have hand-eye coordination before I have coffee. And have you seen those office coffee machines? These myriad functions and add-ons and different things they can do to you. 14-step coffee brewing process. If you can follow through a 14-step process before you had coffee, you don't need coffee. You need an audience and to charge admission. Just give me a 3-step process. You put in your cup, push a button, add milk. Even then I sometimes manage to miss a step or confuse them. I'm actually a risk manager, and what I'm surprised at is no one ever mentioned that one of the very likely potentially source of operational risk is a broken office coffee machine. I'm sure that those people who say, well, I can do my job in my sleep, are talking from experience. When you become middle-aged, you start losing things. Hair, memory, patience, train of thought. Where was I? Oh yes. Instead, you gain experience, cranky attitude, and a lot of extra weight. I think there is a worldwide conspiracy that makes people gain weight. Usually diets start very nicely, right? In the morning you have yogurt with some berries. In the afternoon maybe salad for lunch, an apple or a banana as a snack. On the way home you decide to stop by a neighborhood restaurant and just grab a soup or salad for dinner. 2 hours later back at home, you are polishing off a cannoli after a steak and wine dinner, and you have no idea how that happened. I always thought that as I get older, I will become more stylish and elegant. It's not that I don't know what an elegant outfit looks like, or I can't afford one. It's just no matter what I wear, I don't look all that elegant. I can pull off original. I can probably pull off eclectic. Usually, I'm just happy I'm not missing any critical piece of clothing when I leave house before having coffee. I actually tried dressing up for work a couple of times. When I wear heels, I walk like a newborn giraffe. Scarves get stuck in everything and lost somewhere at the first opportunity. And those summer hats with white brims that usually make most other women look elegant? I look like I'm in a witness protection program. When I tell people, and also like most American women, I have two contradictory problems. Nothing to wear and not enough closet space. When I tell people that I started doing stand-up, they often tell me, wow, you are so brave. Brave? I don't need to be brave for it. I need to be funny. Well, I sure hope I'm funny, otherwise I've been torturing my coworkers for weeks since they're a captive audience. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you so much.